You know what? No, I'm not going to out anybody. That's not the Friday energy. What is the Friday energy? The Friday energy is talking about how more Minnesota communities are parting with their flock cameras. We need to start with some good news. A lot of law enforcement agencies are terminating their contracts with Flock Safety. They are removing automatic license plate reading cameras and escalating public privacy concerns and reports of system abuse. On Thursday, the Sherburne County Sheriff's Office became the latest department to end its use of the automated surveillance network. Department leadership stated that while the technology can assist investigators, protecting community trust outweighs the operational benefits. Particularly, this is like in public opposition and the incidents of camera vandalizing across the state. That's got a lot of them. The local pushback and the coincidences of them all suddenly getting, I don't know, just like sawed down by, I guess, the wind. Like you see that it looks like a bone saw went thrown through these things, and it's like I don't know whether or not I don't know that Mother Nature can do this. It looks like this bamboo tree. We're not in Southeast Asia right now, but somebody managed to plant bamboo all around the bottom of this flock cam. What is going on? Okay, there was a national safety announcement from Flock Safety Chief Executive Officer Grant Langley. He issued Langley. That's a very, very last name. You know what I mean? If you know your CIA knowledge, and also if you watch American Dad, he issued a public apology following reports that officers across the country had misused the system. In some instances, using it to track and stalk individuals. There's been many reports of it. It's really fun and interesting to know that your local police officers, if they have a vendetta against you, if they have a little crush, they can pull you up in the brand new across the city camera system. It's the scene out of, I haven't seen it yet, but Brand New Day. You know, Peter Parker, he uses the flock cameras and he catches the bad guy, and that's exactly why I'm not into Marvel whatsoever anymore. Unfortunately, it's all everybody knows they're sponsored by the DOJ. Everybody knows that they're sponsored by these people in the government that want you to be supportive of big systems. That's exactly why most of the people that oppose them, they're overly cartoonishly evil and whatnot. Michael Keaton in Homecoming and whatnot, and also who's the other one from the Mysterio? Jake Gyllenhaal from the second Spider-Man one, where it's like these little lesser people, these Amazon, let's call them what they are. They're representatives of Amazon workers and whatnot. They're representatives of the people that are on the lesser side of the spectrum, not the autism spectrum, but they're moving packages while other people sit in offices. You know what I mean? There's just you're a grunt. You know what I mean? You do the hard work while everybody else kind of moves the money around. And that's unfortunately, there's a very anti the workman, anti the consumer, whatever image. Tony Stark is always the badass, always the hero and whatnot. You're meant to sympathize with him with Elon Musk type figures. You're meant to, just have a little more sympathy for the idea of this tortured person who's doing his best to make society better while also maybe occasionally killing a couple cities in the process. It's a very pro-US image, but I'm not gonna go too far because I'm worrying that I'm having the Havana syndrome drone thing pointed at my head right now. I'm really worried about that. Apparently it can cause bubbling in your head and it can cause this thing similar to decompression sickness, and I'm not into that. That's not what I'm all about. In response, the company is rolling out new security protocols set to take effect by the end of the year. Updates will reduce a default data retention from 30 days down to 7. That's still not enough. Why do you even have it for 7? Requiring officers to input specific case numbers before running searches and automatically locking out users flagged for abnormal search activity. Despite the proposed safeguards, though, civil liberty organizations, public interest, legal groups are remaining skeptical, characterizing policy shifts as insufficient to address fundamental surveillance concerns. Critics are contending, not pretending. They are contending that giving police officers a unilateral discretion to search license plate history without a court warrant leaves room for ongoing misuse as municipal leaders across Minnesota are evaluating their public safety budgets and community standards. Oh yeah, and the $2 billion budget that we're seeing out of Minneapolis. Great job, Jacob Fry. Several additional jurisdictions are expected to vote on whether or not to retain or decommission their automated camera networks in the coming weeks.
Years ago, we founded Flock with one mission: build safer communities.
Do these surveillance cameras make your community
Build safer communities. We want to see you all the time. We want to be the Eye of Sauron. You are the little Frodo. You occasionally, you play with the idea of putting the ring on. You play with the idea of going onto our porn sites and going onto our social media platforms and whatnot. And then the moment that you go on Instagram, it's I see you. Or the moment you leave your house, it's I see you. If you have an Amazon that has a camera in it, if you have a Amazon that has a microphone in it, if you have your phone around you, because it's constantly recording you, it's constantly sending it your voice back to Apple. We have confirmation that this is real. If you are around any piece of technology, or if you are in any view of any sort of, if you're in view of your laptop, for God's sakes, or your smart TV, the CIA can use that, even if it's turned off, to turn it into a microphone. You are always under the eye of Sauron. We always see you.
Build safer communities.
Do these surveillance cameras make your community safer, or do they go too far?
Do they?
Joining us, city after city is pulling the plug on flock cameras. Some people, like this guy, are even breaking the law and taking matters into their own hands.
How many cameras do you think you've...
Like 35, 36?
New 10 Ashley Graham spoke to that mass vandal. Ashley, I know that you talked to him after the Flock CEO admitted his company made some mistakes.
Yeah, and because of that misuse, he said Flock systems will only hold data for a week instead of a month unless there's an investigation. They'll also limit searches by outside agencies and put new guardrails in place to flag abnormal searches. But it's already too late for many Minnesota cities.
Too late.
It's a brutal tool. But hindsight tends to be very clear. And I think, of course, we could have done more earlier. And we listen and we learn.
And we learn.
Move forward, because until everyone has an equal level of safety in this country, we have work to do.
Thursday, the CEO of Flock apologized for instances where data has been misused, including in some cases where police officers allegedly use the technology to stalk women.
How sorry are you?
Is rolling out changes to its system, but several Minnesota communities have already cut the cord. On Thursday, Sherburne County joined the growing list to drop the controversial cameras within the past few weeks, saying while it can be a useful tool for public safety, there's a growing backlash.
They take our information, they're tracking us. I think it's an invasion of privacy.
That backlash is clear online. These videos have racked up millions of views, showing a man damaging flock cameras in Minnesota.
You can't go outside without the government knowing where you are. You can't do anything without it being tracked.
This is crazy, having no mark on the news. This is as though this is kind of defeating the Batman image, but that's okay. It's not it's not wholeheartedly making him look ridiculous, but it is a little bit imagine if they managed to get it's more of a Spider-Man effect. Spider-Man, I would expect, would go on the news. You know what I mean? He's going with kind of this darker image where it's it's the skull. What's it called? He's always wearing maybe goggles or something like that. But he's also you can tell just he looks like a bit of a scrawnier, tall white boy. You know what I mean? He's he's got the hoodie on and whatnot that's kind of bulkier, so you can't really define his frame. He's also got the the baggier pants and whatnot. But he also it looks like a Punisher kind of look. But I'm just gonna be honest with you, his voice, his kind of his build and whatnot, his actual presentation and whatnot, it's giving way more Spider-Man hero than Batman hero. Do you know what I mean? Not meant to be an insult whatsoever. He's still doing his thing.
He wouldn't share his name or show his face, though he says police know who he is. So you were arrested for damaging flock cameras?
Yes, they saw my videos and they got a warrant from my videos to raid my house.
In Stearns County.
It sounded like he said rape my house. Jesus, raid your house.
They saw my videos and they got a warrant from my videos to raid my house.
In Stearns County, an 18-year-old was charged with a felony for cutting down a law enforcement camera that reads license plates. In Faribault, another man is facing charges accused of stealing a flock camera and trying to break it.
I know it's risky. It's something I think is important. I don't like the direction we're heading.
Me neither, man.
Police agencies have said these cameras are critical in combating crime, and Flock says over the years they've helped investigators track down tens of thousands of missing people. But for many in Minnesota, the debate is still on: privacy or safety.
That's what they want you to think the debate is. They want you to think that the idea is, oh, you're either this nut who's cutting down our cameras or you're compliant. There's like, no, you can also, you can speak out against it. You can make sure that there are, you know, if somebody needs somewhere, you know, don't aid and abet. Don't do anything like that. Don't do anything, you know, I'm not telling you to go cover up these flock cameras. I'm not telling anybody to do anything. Plus, this is a satire show, so we're allowed to have fun, folks. You know, make it known, however it is you like to make it known, that you don't want these things in your community. Have fun with it. Have fun with it. Get creative. That's what I mean. Folks, actually, I have this. I do have a couple of words from the CEO of Flock Cameras himself. Let's take a listen.
You cannot hide. I see you. There is no life in the void. Only death.
We'd like to thank the CEO of Flock Cameras for his words today, ladies and gentlemen. He had to take a lot of time out of his schedule. I think he's building a mine right now to birth orcs in. Ladies and gentlemen,